1805. Everybody, I am here. You might not be able to see me at this very moment, but I am back. Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought, number 1805. I bring you as many morsels of a thought as I can every morning because I know that thoughts of wisdom are uh, chances for us to create virtue, actually virtue, because wisdom is knowing the right things to do. And I'm reading to you the right things to do for women dating men. Keep doing the rules even when things are slow. They said the same thing before, but anyway, taking the magic action brings virtue. Knowing the right things to do is wisdom. Actually doing it is called virtue. We have Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider today. We are here talking about the rules, all the rules. Now, in chapter 12, which is in the second half of all the rules, it is to say, keep doing the rules even when things are slow. A very important rules credo is that it's better to date no one than to date or marry Mr. Wrong. Better to spend Saturday night babysitting for your nephews or curled up with a good book than with a man who's not in love with you. A lot of women get stuck on this particular part because I have done it. A man who was not in love with me, I would go there and be there and just be there and be there, thinking that I could change his mind. This was prior to the rules. Now, you know that men choose their type. And if he didn't talk to you first, when you first met, then you're never going to be sure if he would have talked to you first. So that's why we do the rules. Let's say you've been doing the rules for 6 months or even a year, but have nothing to show for it. No husband, no steady boyfriend, and few Saturday night dates. Da, 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 da. You go to parties, museums, and singles events. You look good and you don't pursue men. Men you're attracted to don't approach you, and the ones you don't care about won't leave you alone. Meanwhile, your friends who aren't doing the rules seem to be dating all the time. True, their relationships aren't good, sometimes downright bad, and don't last, but at least they're busy and you're all alone. Even your mother is telling you to call men. What's wrong with this picture? Unfortunately, nothing. You just haven't met Mr. Right yet. The fact is, Mr. Right, the man you want to marry who wants and pursues you, only comes around a few times in a lifetime. So don't be surprised if you come home from parties with nothing good to report other than that you did the rules. You didn't meet anyone. No man asked for your number. Now that's a downer, but I actually recall being at a dance and somebody who showered. In other words, when he talked, there was say it, don't spray it kind of thing going on. I went to the bathroom like 4 times to try to avoid him, and I came out, and there he was again. Oh, God. He seemed like a nice man, but I didn't want somebody who said it and sprayed everything he said. So, unfortunately, that didn't work out. Many women we know went through the nothing to show for it period for a year or more, but now are happily married and glad that they didn't weaken and stop doing the rules. Don't be surprised if you're tempted to break the rules during these dead periods. You might long to initiate a conversation with the first you cute guy you see, or call an old boyfriend who didn't treat you well in an attempt to rekindle something dead and buried, just out of boredom and loneliness. We understand how you feel, but don't give in. You're just asking for heartache and wasting your time. Now, yeah, realize that these dead periods are not dead at all. The rules are actually working in your life because you are weeding out unsuitable men, which is just as important as holding out for Mr. Right. When you feel that nothing is happening in the man area, take advantage of this downtime and pursue that MBA or law degree. Finish the novel you started writing in college. Redecorate or find a hobby. Take up tennis or diving. Don't forget to call Rules Minded Women or attend a rules support group seminar for reinforcement, anything, but don't initiate a relationship with a man who isn't right for you. You never know, you might just meet your husband on the tennis court or your adult education class. And there are habits you can take, such as going to homeless shelters and feeding people. You can, I mean, not that you're looking for men there, but other volunteers maybe include men too. So, although there are a lot of married people there that are helping out. Women who break the rules when nothing is going on end up in relationships that don't work out. And even worse, get involved in relationships that prevent them from meeting Mr. Right. 5 months or 5 years later, they're still single and older. Rules girls don't waste time. I'm reading out of the second half of All the Rules. The rules two, More Rules to Live and Love By, was where the rules book became a bigger book. It doubled its size. It used to be a thin book, and now it's a thick book. All the Rules, Time Tested Secrets for Capturing the Heart of Mr. Right. So now we're going to read this one. Hold on. Get to it. Long distance relationships, part two, making it work. Now, in chapter 7, that's long distance relationships. I want to read that, but I think if there's a chapter 1, I'm going to read that one first. And, da 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 da. Come on, chapter 2. There we go. Chapter 6 is on page 41 of this book. Long distance relationships, part 1, how they should start. Chapter 6. Many questions arise in long distance relationships that don't come up when dating a man closer to home. But before going into the specific rules for these relationships, it's important to talk about the mistakes women make when they first meet a man from out of town. Mistakes that can easily prevent a long distance rules relationship from ever developing. As we have said before, it's the first encounter. Who spoke to whom first, how long the conversation lasted, and who ended it first that often determines whether it's a rules relationship or not. Now, the way it's supposed to work is the man chooses his type, and you wait for a man to choose you as his type, because if you're not the type that a man you choose is looking for, then you wind up wasting time in a relationship that's not necessarily perfect. So the man talks to you first, and then he keeps the conversation going, and you end the conversation first because that's the way the chase begins. Let's look at some typical scenarios. You meet a man at a mutual friend's wedding in Atlanta. You are from New York and he's from Chicago. He comes up to you and asks you to dance. It's the rules. You like him a lot. You dance one dance and then another and then another. You feel glued to his side. You know you should really walk away, say hello to some college friends you haven't talked to in years, but you don't. You figure the two of you live miles apart. Who knows if you'll ever see him again? So what's the harm with spending 5 hours with him? He asks you to join him for dessert. You say yes. Then he invites you to take a walk with him around the grounds. You agree. He takes your phone number at the end of the evening, kisses you goodbye, and says something about calling you in a few days, maybe visiting New York. You're in love. You fly back home and tell your friends and your mother and start thinking about your own wedding. But because you broke the rules by spending so much time with him, he either never calls or calls after a week or two just to say hello, but doesn't make plans to see you. Or he calls and asks you to fly to Chicago to see him. Or makes plans to see you in New York, but only because he's going to be there on business anyway. Naturally, you feel hurt and disappointed. Why doesn't he sound crazy about you? Why doesn't he want to jump on a plane and see you right away? Looking back on the evening and after reading the rules, you realize that you didn't play hard to get. You spent 5 straight hours with him. He knew you liked him, and the challenge was gone. We're not saying that you had wa- We're not saying that had you walked away or turned him down a couple of times for dances that he would definitely call and pursue a long distance relationship. Maybe he has a girlfriend in Chicago. Maybe he just wanted to have fun at the wedding. Yeah, yeah. Maybe he just wanted to have fun at the wedding. Nothing more, nothing less. But by not doing the rules, you lessened your chances, you got your hopes up, and you got emotionally involved and hurt. If he was interested and you were more elusive, chances are he would have thought about you on the plane ride home, missed you in Chicago, called sooner, and made plans to see you in New York, even if he didn't have a business trip there. In the future, when you meet someone at a wedding or party whom you may never see again, don't spend the entire evening with him. Talk to him for 15 or 20 minutes, dance with him a couple of times, and then excuse yourself to use the ladies' room or say hello to a friend or just walk around for a while. He should be looking for you during the evening and trying to pin you down for another dance. When you spend 4 or 5 hours with a man you just met, he no longer finds you as mysterious or interesting, even if he made the first move. When he goes back home, he may not think you're that special or dream about seeing you again because you were too available. The same goes for meeting a man on a business trip. Let's say you meet a man at a conference. He notices you, strikes up a conversation, and asks you to have dinner with him that evening since he's leaving town the next morning. You say yes because he's cute and maybe something will start. You tell yourself you may never cross paths again. He's from Boston, you're from San Diego, and you weren't going to do anything special for dinner anyway but order room service and HBO. The rule's answer is to say, thank you, but I already have plans. Why? Because if you see him at the last minute, even if it's convenient for both of you, some of the challenge evaporates. If he's interested in you, let him call you and make special plans to visit you. If he can see you at a moment's notice, he won't have to long for you and pursue you. And whatever interest he had in you may fizzle. Don't think we're being overly strict about this. We see it happen time and time again. A woman meets a man at a business function, or a party who says he's in town for just a few days and wants to take her to dinner that very night. He's totally charming and makes her feel special. She tells herself that she would really be missing something if she turned him down. He won't be in town again for another month. He's a sexy movie producer or a plastic surgeon with offices on both coasts. She says yes. Maybe it's just dinner. Maybe she sleeps with him and she thinks this is the beginning of a whirlwind bicoastal courtship. The reality is, it may not be. He may be lying. He may be in town for another week, but figures this way he'll get what he wants right away. Or he may be married, and this is his standard pickup line when he's out of town. There are men who have a girl in every port. You don't want to be one of them. But even if he's sincere, single, and really likes you, the answer is still no to a last minute date. You think if you say no, he'll forget you. But rules girls know that he'll remember you that much more if you turn him down. So the next time you meet a man who asks you to dinner the same night because he's in town just a few days, say, I'd love to, but I have other plans. Let him call you in advance the next time he plans to be in town or make a special trip to see you. We are reading from All the Rules by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. Knowing the right things to do is having a form of wisdom. Doing it is pure virtue. If you know the right things to do, that will make your life better, or that will bring you a good rules relationship. You have to learn from other people's life experiences. So I'm bringing you synopses of other people's life experiences in our Morsels of a Thought, 1805. The only way to know if a man is interested in you, instead of just filling up a few hours, is to not accept a last minute date. When you make him wait several days to see you, or you make him wait until he's in town again a month later, he gets to experience longing. That's so good in this book. He gets to experience longing. That is such a highlighted sentence. If I highlighted it. If his feelings about you are just lukewarm, he won't bother to make a date beforehand. By following the rules, you'll avoid wasting time and having your hopes dashed later on. We know quite a few women who were full of hope, but then never heard from Mr. Bicoastal again. Here's another common long distance scenario. You meet Mr. Right on the first day of a 7-day vacation. Perhaps you're from different cities in the United States and you meet on a Club Med trip. He speaks to you first, asks you out for that night, and wants to be with you for all 7 days and nights. You think, why not? He's cute. This is the whirlwind romance you always read about and dreamed about in those romance novels, right? In this situation, you must force yourself not to see this man for the whole trip. See him once or twice for dinner and dancing over the 7-day period, but turn him down to be with other people so that he finds you mysterious and elusive and is forced to pursue you when he returns home. If he doesn't call you after the trip, at least you didn't waste 7 days and nights on a man who's not that interested. This is key. Don't waste your vacation on somebody that's a stranger that's not that interested. Can you imagine that waste of time? Wow. So back to the book. The authors say, we know men who go on such trips, pursue one woman the whole time, sleep with her, and then never think about her much less call her, never think about her, much less call her again when they return home. Here you're thinking this is true love, and he's thinking sex, sand, and fun for a week. If you don't want to be nothing more than the girl he slept with in Club Med, don't see him more than once or twice that week, and don't sleep with him. Otherwise, you'll be crushed if you never hear from him again. It'll be a classic case of, I love you, honey, but the vacation's over. So, by doing the rules, you won't throw away a whole week on someone who may not have serious intentions, and you will be open to meeting other men. If he really likes you, he'll call you and visit you afterward. Now, long distance relationships, part 2 is making it work. I'm going to read the first and last paragraphs of this particular part because the first part was longer than I thought. Long distance relationships, chapter 7, part 2, making it work. Assuming you're beginning or already in a long distance relationship, what are the rules? You don't call him, he calls you. Leave something to talk about when he visits you. If he wants to visit you on the weekend, he must ask you by Wednesday. So after he has visited you 3 times, you can visit him once and stay at his place if he invites you. Who pays for the trip? It depends. If he offers to pay the airfare, let him. If he doesn't, don't ask him for the money, but let him pay for everything when you're there. Don't worry, by doing the rules, visiting him infrequently, you will automatically minimize your travel costs. On the other hand, do not fly out a lot to see him just because he offers to pick up the tab. Excuse me. Just because he offers to pick up the tab. The rules is about letting him pursue you, not about saving money. If you have friends or relatives in that city, it would be a good idea to call them and meet them briefly while you're there so that you don't spend the entire weekend with this man and he doesn't tire of you. End the weekend first. Being in a long distance relationship does not give you license to send men letters and greeting cards. You are not pen pals. You can send him a birthday or holiday card if you are in a committed long distance relationship. Assuming he sent you the same, the cards should be warm but not mushy. No love poetry. If the relationship progresses, he's calling you every week for the weekend, he's visiting you more than you're visiting him, he wants to be exclusive, and so on. You are in a long distance rules relationship. If this is not the case, be available to date others. If things get serious, he might bring up the future and ask if you would ever consider relocating. Reply, I haven't really thought about it. Until he actually proposes and gives you a ring, be vague. There is no reason to look into selling or renting your apartment or asking for a job transfer to his city or finding a job in his city if he hasn't formally proposed. Formally proposed. In fact, there's no reason to relocate until after you've set a wedding date. We do not live with a man before marriage, and we don't go away with him on 7-day vacations before the honeymoon. Try to see him only on the weekends until you have a wedding date. If you are already in a long distance relationship and did not know about the rules until now, start doing the rules very strictly today. Don't call him. Let him call you. Get off the phone in 15 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes if he's calling from Tokyo or Paris and you don't talk that often. If he's used to you traveling to him most of the time, let him visit you more now. If he says he's too busy, simply say, things are so hectic, I just can't get away right now. This will get him to miss you, wonder about you, and figure out a way to visit you if he's interested and marry you. So, this is part of this book. Better that he never see him again than that you visit him first or even meet him halfway. Now, the idea is you visit him once for every 3 times he visits you. It's like calls. You can rarely call men back. But if you're older, like me, you can call him back once after every 3 or 4 times that he calls you. So that's what it is right now. Virtue into the world. This is mostly for women. Um, but it's also for gay men who want to be the pursuee because knowing the right things to do is wisdom, and actually doing it is called virtue. So here we are. We have to see through other people's lenses, and we'll be standing on their shoulders because they do us the favor of giving us the wisdom that they used that was successful. Okay, I'll talk to you later, and I am very sorry I was late. I have to hang my head. I have to stop doing that. I want to come at 6:10 a.m. Okay? Old Kinderhook!